Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and it's Ladies' Day today. Hello, Myra J. How are you?
Hello, ladies.
And young Quinn, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be around all you beautiful ladies too.
Your hair looks great. What'd you
Doesn't
do?
it?
Oh, thank you. I got one of those wig heads so I could finally curl the back of my head. And it's
Oh,
just
that's right.
life changing. Like I don't know why I never actually got bought the actual full like wig things, but I got some rollers. I got a new curling iron. And I had a work presentation today too, but work was
So
also interesting.
you come from a hairstyling family. You didn't always have all of the tools and the instruments.
I feel as if our grandmother prepared us more for like sew-ins and like braids, but not
Oh, okay.
actual like wig maintenance. And wigs, the technology has sort of shifted from like, the combs to like you need concealer to match the lace front and like
Hmm.
everything else like that. So at this age, I never thought about like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and actually grab a head. And I didn't know you could even buy those things from a beauty supply store because I thought, either they're too expensive or whatever. But now that I have one, it makes curling and like rolling up hair overnight like so much easier. Um,
Question for
Oh.
you.
yeah.
Where do you keep your wig head? Because there have been some incidents. I'm not a wig wearing person, but if you're not a wig wearing person and there's a wig head on your dresser with a wig on it, and you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Right. I think it makes sense to keep them on top of your dresser. But in my
Mhm.
apartment, I don't have any bedroom furniture, so I put mine in my bathroom. It's like right next to my jewelry. All my vanity makeup stuff is all in my bathroom. So that's where I put mine. But I never actually saw, I don't think my mom even owned a wig head. Like I just think it was a drawer of like
Hmm.
all the wigs you would just take
Just
out.
pull it out and
Right.
pop it
Just
on.
like socks. And be like, well, this matches. And, put it on
Okay,
my thing. Yeah.
How
okay.
many wigs do you own, do you think?
Right now it's just this one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I think I talked one show how like my siblings and I we share everything. So I also
Mhm.
pass on my wigs like to my sister,
Uh,
especially like if I've worn it and I'm just like, oh, okay, I think it's cute. And I'm the type of person, if you keep complimenting something that I have, I'm like, here, there you go, like you have it.
Mhm.
So every wig that I used to have, I gave to my sister, but this one I'm 100% gonna keep for a while because this is my first bob.
Does
And
she have a name?
no, I haven't named her yet.
oh, you have
Okay.
to name you. You have to name them.
I know it kind of makes me feel like Gabrielle Union because I think of her when I think of Bob's.
Oh, call it Gabby.
Yes, I like Gabby, so it may
Mhm.
be a Gabby thing situation. But
Okay.
yes, this is
Okay.
one. But I also have some clip-ins, and yeah, so we're gonna see. But I'm not trying to get that person has like 45, 40, 50 different wigs. I don't think you need like
Right. Right.
I don't think you need 40 wigs.
No,
Maybe
you need to
one for
save
each
that
day.
number for shoes.
Okay. Or bags, as far as
Or
I'm concerned.
bags, shoes
Yeah.
or bags. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I am not a wig person. I'll tell you. They've tried to get me to do wigs, my people, and even took me to look for it, and it just doesn't. I haven't found the one that looks right on me. That doesn't look like. Why is she wearing that wig?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't look natural to me, and so I just have to go with what I got.
Yeah, yeah.
You could get them custom made now. I'm pretty sure Beyonce gets hers custom made.
Oh yeah, for
Have
sure.
to be. Like
Yeah,
it looks like it's going off her scalp. There's just no
yeah,
way. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Our friend Sherry Shepherd has the same thing. She has an
Oh, her
amazing
hair looks nice too.
collection of wigs. Yeah, yeah. So, okay. So wig talk, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. Unfortunately, Stephen Hill not able to join us today. He is en route, traveling from one end of the country to the other. But hopefully, will join us next week. Um, I am in Washington, D.C., and going to the White House Christmas party tonight. And so it's always a great opportunity, and I never take this opportunity for granted. It's nice to be invited, and it's nice to see some of your old friends because this will be people in the business that you work with and reconnect. Last year, uh, I went to the vice president's Christmas party, so that was really cool, and got the picture with her and the second gentleman. So tonight it will be President and First Lady Jill Biden. So looking forward to
Very
that. Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
nice. I'm
yeah.
excited
Very
for it.
Yeah. So had to get the clothes and everything right. But we're gonna after we finish this, we'll head off to the White House. So looking forward to that. Um,
Quick question: do they line dance at the White? I
That's a
mean,
good.
are they gonna wobble or cha cha slide
you
or
know what?
Jerusalem or something?
I've not seen that at even at the Obama's Christmas parties. I've not seen line dancing. Sometimes, Tom Joyner, we went to a state dinner. I was thinking about this the other night because it was the anniversary of the death of Nelson Mandela, and Tom took me to the White House as his date for the state dinner honoring President Mandela, his first visit to the United States after he got out of prison.
Mhm.
And they cleared off the tables, moved everything up. No, they took us into another room for the dancing, and Tom Joyner started the Soul Train line.
Oh,
Yeah, yes, but I've not seen any other time. I've not seen that. So, but I'm thinking like if Roland Martin or somebody is there, they'll start that.
I
Yeah,
was just, you know what, and I think he's gonna be there.
yeah. So,
I'm really excited to see how the food is.
um, I don't eat so much with the it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I don't have any issues with the beauty and the plating and all of that. I'm just not one for hors d'oeuvres and taking food where other people have
I
been.
was gonna say, yeah. I'm okay. I
You
thought
know,
a 3 course meal or something.
no, not for this, not for this. But the state dinners are impeccable. They are just really incredible. But for the Christmas party, not so much. It's more of a walk around, meet and greet. And then you get these cards so that you can get in line to take pictures with the president and the first lady.
Nice.
And so, and then, it's pretty much over. Like, okay, good night, everybody. Drive safely. Your Ubers will be that way. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. And as I said, I'm just very grateful. Just very nice.
That's very cool. Nice. I'm happy
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
No mistletoe hanging up anywhere around.
There is. I mean, the
Okay.
decorations are
Okay.
incredible. They are just I remember one year the Obamas had like life size, actually there were life size plus statues of the dogs. They're Portuguese water dogs.
Hmm.
Sunny and Bo, I believe were their names. And they were taller than you and me. And they're like 5 feet tall,
Hmm.
if not more. And so they really go all out in terms of decorations and things like that. So it's really cool.
I'm just saying that could be a loose journalist or some just hanging around by the mistletoe. Just
Yeah, well, hopefully,
we're the
uh,
end of the year.
did you see my piece? Yeah, yeah. Okay. There's a lot of that kind of talk. Yeah. So let's talk about the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our Monday through Friday effort to bring information for and about Black people. And we work every day, a daily newsletter, Monday through Friday, to inform and empower our readers and talking issues that affect us. Kwyn Townsend Riley is our LGBTQIA plus contributor. I don't always get the letters in there or correctly, but
Yeah,
I'm trying. And Kwyn joins us today and talking about the sad statistic about the deaths of hundreds of people in the LGBTQIA plus community.
yeah. So I realized I forgot to do an article similar to what I did last year about Transgender Day of Remembrance, which falls around the same time that folks celebrate Thanksgiving, and this
Right.
is like an annual recognition of those who we have lost, each year, even like in the previous years, just to uplift the importance of eliminating transphobia and like violence against gender diverse people. And so this year there is a report. If you go to Trans Respect, TRANS respect RESPECT, .org. They released this global report where they have officially announced that over 300 people that identify as trans and gender diverse people have been reported murdered. But of course, we know with these statistics, there could always be more if folks weren't misgendering or like dead naming people. And when I use the word dead naming, that means they're using the name before, they're using the name to identify a person by a name that they no longer use. So most of the time when people do identify as trans, they adopt a new name because they're switching over to a new gender or something. But the statistics are really harsh to hear. One statistic that I left out, I forgot, I'm in the article, that 80% of that 300 are Black or brown, femme identified folks. Most of these murders are trans women. 48% of these women were sex workers. 94% were trans women or femmes. 45% of these women were migrants or refugees in Europe. And then 28% of them were murdered on the street. 26% of them were murdered in their residence. And so this is a global that tracks folks all the way to Brazil, where Brazil actually holds a lot of occurrence of these type of trans murders, or something I learned as well. But this report is available for everybody. But the one thing that I think was really, really special to me, Sybil, is that they also released the names of these people. Because a lot of times, especially even like, when we talk about the deaths of people for Black Lives Matter, people just quote the statistics and people forget that these are actual people. And when you read about the stories of these women, of these individuals, it really is just like, wow, like that could have been my cousin or that could have been anybody, especially when I said most of these are 80% Black and brown. So it just shows like the how intersectionality like exists within transphobia, because then we have racism and like misogyny, but then we also have like how 48% of these are sex workers. So patriarchy is in there, as well, and sexism. So yeah, please check it out. Thank you to those who have worked really hard on this. It's from this organization called Trans Respect versus Transphobia, and it comes out of an organization in Europe. And they released this report around Transgender Day of Remembrance, but I forgot to do the article with everything else happening. So I figured I'd let you guys know before the end of the year. 2022 is still the deadliest year because they had 327, and this report says 321. So 2022 is still the deadliest year. And I don't know if that's because of like post-Trump things or like why, but 321 to 327 still isn't that big of a gap for me.
Right.
So hopefully we can see this decrease.
That is the hope. That is really the hope. And Kwyn does a great job in keeping us up to and being very kind in our ignorance, and when we ask questions about certain things, or why this is or why isn't this, and very patient in giving us answers. So thank you for that. One of the other items that we cover on a weekly basis in the newsletter is the Black and Missing Foundation, because as Kwyn has indicated, in terms of the transgender community, so many deaths occur and there isn't enough information coming out. And there are people that are dedicated to honoring the lives of those who are lost. The Black and Missing Foundation honors those who are Black and missing, because all too often mainstream media does not talk about people who are missing that look like us. And for whatever reason, police departments historically have not given Black people their due. It's just a runaway or there's a family situation, and without really discussing the fact is they're missing. We need to find them. Let's not talk about, oh, we don't need to broadcast this. It's just another little black girl who's gone missing, or another Black man who's gone missing, and we don't talk about the circumstances and what things that they are living with. So the folks at Black and Missing Foundation are very kind to share with us the information. And today they're looking for Aaliyah Monet Freeman. She's 31 years old, been missing from Wilmington, Delaware. And take a look at her picture in the What You Need to Know newsletter. She looks familiar to you. She has been missing since the 1st of October. So we are talking about 2 months now. And according to her family, she last communicated with them in September via text. And the last swipe of her at her residence, located in Wilmington, was September 29th. She was reported missing on October 1st. So she may have gone missing even before, but she's been reported missing as of the 1st of October. So take a look at that. If she looks familiar to you, then by all means, please go to the Black and Missing Foundation and give them information. They are doing a great job at serving a public that doesn't even know we need this in many cases. But in media and in broadcast media, especially, it used to be that they would always promote the stories about little girls and little boys that look like them. And so they were blonde and blue eyed, and oh, aren't they the cutest things? And not so much the people that didn't look like them. But then as as the newsrooms opened up and Black folks were asking, well, how come we're not reporting about little Aaliyah? How come we're not reporting about little Brandon? And that, kind of puts things in a different perspective. And so thank you very much, Natalie, and the Wilson sisters-in-law to for doing this and keeping us up to date on what's going. So that's another thing that you can find in the What You Need to Know newsletter, as well as the HBCU Corner. We talk about the little known Black history fact. Kwyn's big brother, Cameron Riley, wrote a delightful article about a baby Einstein, a little girl whose name is Declan, and she is 6 years old, and she is a member of Mensa. That is the organization that has people who have extremely high IQs. And I think she's like in the 140s, 150, and has, yes.
Einstein. And some of you don't give up hope. I know your little 6-year-old baby and grandbaby still trying to tie their shoe. That's okay. Just get them the Velcro and keep hope alive.
Right. That's right. But they could be the ones to invent the next Velcro,
yes.
right?
Yes.
You never know, and we love to encourage people to not just look at sometimes the sad and the sorry sides of life. This is an uplifting story about this little girl, and now her little brother is showing signs of genius. Wow. And so her parents will really have their hands full. They won't lack for scholarships, I would imagine, but just getting them there is journey enough. So take a look at that. She is an adorable little girl, and Cameron did a great job in talking about that. So that is our What You Need to Know newsletter. As I mentioned, LGBTQ plus and social justice, I should mention that, is Coy Malone, and mental health and wellness is April at Russell. And so all of these young people, combine their talents and help us put out this newsletter every day. And so we are very appreciative. And this is a good time to remind people What You Need to Know newsletter subscription is perfect for the holidays because it won't cost you a dime. All we need is an email address and a name, and we can have that in their email box every Monday through Friday. And when you get your newsletter every Monday through Friday morning, please open it. We would love to have you counted among all those that have your subscriptions. And if you have a problem with your subscription, let us know that at SybilWilkes.com as well, because we have people who can make this easier for you. So, and Myra, I know I'm making you crazy with my glasses. I'm sorry about the but for folks that are listening, the reflection on my glasses is maybe a little distracting, but here we are. So that is
like this. There you go. Hey, that could be working for some people.
So that's the What You Need to Know newsletter, and now it's time for. I had two different questions for the "What's Really Going On" question of the day, and then we started having a discussion before the show, and one was a reflection of Kwyn, and we'll share that when she comes through with her assignment next week. We'll discuss that. And I know wherever my daddy is, he's spinning in his grave as a result of the question. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I've done stuff that's made him spin too, so not to worry. But Myra had a great question as well, and I think that is what we're going to go with today, and that is, what is that Christmas gift you always wanted and never received?
Yep. Love it. I I can gladly start. I remember as a little girl, I wanted a boy's bike. And here's the
Mm,
reason. I wasn't a tomboy or anything, but I always thought the boy's bike was cooler because it had that bar on it, and that's where you could ride your friends.
right.
Duh. That's what I wanted. And my
They didn't
mother,
have to be on the handlebars. They could
right,
be on, yeah.
right, because when they on the handlebars, you got to ride like this so you can see. But if they on the side, it kind of works. So my mother's like, you get a perfect report card, and I mean perfect. Back in the day, it wasn't A B C D. We had E's. E was for excellent. E was equivalent to A. And and when she said perfect, she didn't mean for one semester. Every box, including behavior, I had to get E's. I got a perfect report card, all E's. And my mother, but I can still see it. It was like a emerald green bike with a white wicker basket and
Mhm.
pink and yellow flowers and daisies and tassels. And it
It
was
was so
not,
girly.
it
It
was
was
so
so
dang
girly.
girly. And I was like, what is that? And she was like, you don't want no boy's bike. I did want a boy's bike. And all I kept thinking was all that good work for nothing.
Right.
I could have effed up the whole school year and got
I never understood the bar for the boys because if you come to a quick stop,
well,
that would seem to damage the boys more than the girls. I never quite understood because of the way we're, created.
that's
Uh,
why they
it,
had to be careful riders.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Don't, have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Did she ever tell you
Um,
why she didn't get it for you?
Well, yeah, because she told me, she said, you don't want a boy's bike, you want a girl's bike.
Oh,
That's what I was, that's what I very made it very clear. I wanted because I used to take my brother's bike all the time because I liked riding a boy's bike. And I had the little bike with the training wheels on it, So then when it was time for my own bike, I was like, this is what I want. And no, she
that's
got me
interesting.
the girl's bike. It's all frilly with the wicker basket and flowers and everything. Oh, it's perfect.
wow.
We used to share bikes between all of my siblings, and
Mhm.
I definitely used to ride my brother's bike. I don't
Yeah.
think any of us had like a really feminine bike. All of them were
Hmm.
like a dark blue or like a regular green or like whatever. Um, and so I still remember like my brother's bike did seem like it went faster. I don't know if he had different tires or something, but I remember
Yeah.
I'm on my brother's bike, then I know I'm gonna get to 87th, 95th like real quick. But
Okay.
yeah, and I remember my auntie's bike, to being like a teenager, you got an adult bike felt so different than a child bike.
Hmm.
But I was gonna say, I don't
Did they
remember.
call them when
Huh?
I was a kid? They called them English racers.
Racers.
Was
Why?
But,
English racer? Yeah,
boys had racer bikes. Yeah.
Why are
Yeah.
they
yeah.
called English racers?
And it's like why do
Maybe
you
that's where they were
because
manufactured. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
so
You're
they
right.
called them English racers, and I remember the 10 speed that I got, and
Oh
that wasn't at
yeah.
Christmas. That was for my birthday, and
Yeah.
it was a real pretty yellow Schwinn
No, mine had the
ten
fat
speed.
tires. It was not. It just wasn't. It wasn't.
I'm sorry.
Santa just totally got misread that one. Yeah.
So Quinn, you guys shared bikes. Was there a gift, and as a kid in the middle there of a growing family, was there ever a Christmas that you asked for something and never got it?
Yeah, I'm pretty still to this day. If you ask me what it is that I want, I'm always just like, whatever. Like, I can give you a list of things that I like. Like,
Hmm.
it's fine if you get whatever. And I actually don't recall ever writing anything on a list, but I do remember praying for something specific around
Oh
the
wow.
holidays.
Yeah.
And my mom's gonna watch this back and be like, girl, what the hell? But what I wanted more than anything was for my parents to get back together. That
Oh
unfortunately didn't happen. But I
Oh,
was praying for that like almost every year from like third up until like my eighth grade year. Um,
wow.
until by the time, of course, I got to high school, I was like, okay, it's just not really, gonna happen.
And do you remember that moment when you said, I'm gonna put my prayers to something
I
else?
I asked both of my parents honestly. And I'm grateful. I'm really grateful for the way that my parents like spoke to me about, separating, like divorce. And it wasn't like blunt where it's like dead, but it was like clear that like this has nothing to do with you all. We love being your parents. We love that you exist. And it's just better for us, like if we remain separate. And my father will always say, I didn't hear my mom say this much. My father always said, like, I still love her. Like, I'm very much so, I still love her. I love her so much. I love your mom so much. So it never felt as if like they were, I would say, like discontent with what they had. It more so seemed as if like, yeah, dad, I just won't wake up to him, like coming downstairs or eating breakfast with us or like eating dinner with us. Or when we have holidays, like he wasn't there. Like even when I was a child, he was there, but up until I think they split like when I was in second or third grade. And I was like, dang, like, okay. But yeah. And my mom made sure that we knew it wasn't gonna happen. Like
was she the writer of the Taylor Swift song "And We're Never Ever Ever Getting Back Together Again"?
And Myra, maybe you can talk about this because my mom was the Pisces, but I feel like Pisces women, when they're done, it's done. Like respectfully, they hold their boundaries very, very clear. Like there is no, oh yeah, you can spend the night just for the kids. It's like, no, like you're going home.
OVA. Oh,
so it was just very clear. And I think seeing a woman really put her foot down, I was like, oh, okay, I can be that assertive and somebody can actually still respect me.
That really sounds like a Hallmark. I tell everybody that at night after a day full of news, I relax and unwind by watching the Hallmark Christmas movies, and they're 24/7. So even in my strange sleeping hours, I can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I can get it, and it comes on. A fresh one comes on at 3 o'clock, and by 5 o'clock, then I finish whatever work I have to do, and then I can go back to sleep. But that sounds like a Hallmark Christmas movie. Kids, praying to writing a letter to God, or praying to Santa, asking Santa, please make my mom happy, or please put my parents back together again, or please find a new wife for my dad, or something like that. But always, there was one. It was a letter to Santa. I believe that was the name of it. And the kids wrote a letter to Santa and said, please let our parents like each other again. And get back together for Christmas.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything, but maybe someone else is working on something similar. That's all I'm gonna say.
It would be a good movie. I would definitely watch that movie. Yeah.
All I'm saying. Okay.
And I love that.
I think, and especially around the holidays, I my heart goes out to like families and like other folks who grew up in like separate, families segregated and stuff. Because you do feel that absence, but I think as a child also you're able to see like the definition of being amicable and like being cordial and just like how love is something that can surpass like possession or like even like space, and how you can love somebody and still say this relationship has been working out for me, or like how I can love you and still recognize that I'm not good for you,
right.
And that
and vice versa.
Right. And learning that at a young age, like when I was navigating high school, like all the different guys I had, my mom would be like, you putting up with that? And I left your daddy with that. And I'm like, true. What am I doing? Like, let me, get it together. So yeah, I can't wait for the movie to come out. Yeah.
I know.
What about you, Sybil? What was that one gift for Christmas?
Myra, I gotta tell you, I was truly blessed, and not always for Christmas, but ultimately, like I was a tomboy, and so one Christmas I wanted a football. Because we played football, and I wanted my own, because I didn't want to have to wait for the other kids to come outside and play football, or wait for one of the boys. And so my mother's like, and my dad was like, he raised 3 sons, and no daughter of mine is going to be, with a football. And my godmother got me the football.
A real one, not a Nerf one, right?
Right. Yeah, a real pigskin, yeah, laced up and everything, NFL official. So that was the Christmas that I thought that I wasn't going to get anything. And a funny story is, even those things that I did get sometimes took a little longer to get. Santa with the intention of giving me a kitchen set for Christmas. My dad was one of Santa's elves and was perhaps overserved Christmas Eve. And so for Christmas, I got the stove.
The easy bake oven? No.
No, the stove. The little play stove.
Okay.
And for Easter, I got the refrigerator. And for my birthday, I got another piece because Daddy was not able to get it all done in one night because he would stop off and socialize. And so and my mother was determined that this man was going to put together his daughter's things that he determined that she had to have. So that was, like I said, I wanted them, but I didn't always get them at the rate that, they should have come, or my mother thought they should have come. It's just like, what does Santa have for Christmas? What is, leaving Santa cookies and milk? And my dad told me that Santa likes scotch. So
No, that's funny.
I believe they called him backdoor Santa. Okay, backdoor Santa like a little scotch on the rocks with
exactly.
late at night. Just leave that on the kitchen table
and some beer nuts, not necessarily chocolate.
Yeah, beer nuts.
So that was, but I got to tell you, now. And I wonder if people felt this with me, but I don't think that I, got so much that it was kind of overwhelming. But I do watch others now with their children, and there is no lack of gifts. It's just like opening up a Toys R Us store on Christmas morning. And so I kind of backed away from that, and now I give kids books, which makes me highly unpopular. But with all the other stuff that they get, it's like, whew, it's a lot. It's an awful lot.
I was always that one fun gift, but I'm always giving a book, always.
Yeah.
And that would be the gift that they would go, yeah, and slide to the side.
Right.
Like, you open that slim package that I
or the mom saying, I don't know how to tell you, but he's not reading right now. Like, okay, but he'll have a book, and one day he'll look up and say, I wonder what that's about, or need a book for a book report, and there it will be.
Yep, that's always me. Always giving an educational type.
Right.
Gift. Yep.
Kwyn, when you were talking about not having your parents together for holidays and things like that, I think that as a result of kids that were raised like you and not seeing everybody together for the holidays has engendered that kind of relationship in which parents say, look, for the kids' sake, you bring your current partner and I'll have my current partner, and we are going to be civil towards each other for the holiday. We see a lot more of that now than we used to, or the parent getting the kid for Thanksgiving and the other parent getting the kid for Christmas, or vice versa, that kind of thing, or Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day, that kind of thing.
I think also I feel as if my siblings, like, we appreciate the holidays just even a bit more because like it is, I don't want to say it's a consistent reminder of like the divorce, because I don't feel like it is, but it is a consistent reminder of like how tight knit we are, like as a family. Like,
right.
I mean, so like how close my siblings and I are, but we really, really are like, those are my best friends. I feel like my actually blood friends. So whenever I think about the holidays, birthdays, Memorial Day, I'm just like, what are we doing as a family? Like, like what's going on? And then, I think it's also an invitation for us to invite like extended family. Like I am trying to get to know now more folks like on my father's side. And my father, he had, I have two other sisters that live in Michigan. So like I was trying to talk to them as well. And just like redefining what family really is. Like my mom clearly has remarried now, and like Binga is such a blessing in our family, like in my lifetime with how I am as young adult. So I feel as if like, even though I didn't have my father, God has placed father figures like around. But yeah, It's cool. I was also thinking about something else, and I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh,
But yeah,
You'll remember. What were you gonna say, Myra?
I think it is important, if not around the holidays, but at some point, just trying to be cordial. And
Mm-hmm.
when they are young, I used to say, it's not about me, it's about the child. And oh Lord, no, I don't like to put my personal stuff out there, but let's just say that that my granddaughter's grandpapa
Mm-hmm.
had not seen his grandchild before. She may have been 3 or 4 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and she was in town. I want to say, okay, fine, we're gonna swing by, and let's just say, allegedly, he may have been in the middle of the street with playing, let's say, backdoor Santa with the scotch. Here come my
What a
it's
great
on the street.
what a great introduction.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. I'm in the car horrified, like, oh, she's gonna be yeah.
Oh my.
So yeah, but
Ah.
and we went and we were cordial,
Mhm.
and it was a memorable Christmas. And all I can say is, like, thank God, I really think she's too young to
Right.
remember.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with that sentiment. I was talking with Cameron, I believe, and I was like, man, like, I'm so grateful. Like, we didn't grow up seeing anybody drunk at the house. He was like, Quinn, have you not looked at grandpa? Like, do you not see Uncle? I'm like, they're high? Like, I think we were just chill, mellowed elders, but it's like, no, people are off the za. And I had
That's
no idea,
funny.
like 8 years old, 10 years old. I'm just like,
Right.
how people naturally are. So people do forget. I'm pretty sure, like, she's not traumatized.
Thank goodness. Okay.
She shall not be traumatized.
Right, because I remember. It's like, okay, so you're gonna meet your grandbaby for the first time. All righty then.
Yeah.
Let's move to trending topics. Thank you all for indulging me in the Christmas talk. This really is my favorite time of year, so I appreciate that. And I will try to keep the conversation going as well. Myra, where are you going to be?
Tonight in Marietta, Georgia, and at the Perfect Note, it will be myself, Keandra Scott, and Mr. J. Anthony Brown. So come out and get your little laugh on at Perfect Note, 7:30.
Nice, nice. And dare I ask if this is going to be a regular thing?
Girl, like,
Okay,
you
I
know
know.
your
It's okay.
brother, J. Anthony Brown.
I know.
Oh, and also January 26th in Denton, Texas.
Are you serious?
Yes, ma'am. I've been sorry, y'all. I hadn't signed the contract. But Denton, Texas, yes, for the Black Film
The
Festival.
festival, yeah.
Yeah, I am hosting the comedy festival on Friday, January 26th.
That is the first place I saw Mary Boyce perform her stand up.
And
It
yep,
was brilliant. Yes.
and yep, and she had a little something to do with me coming in and being the host for that evening.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I
Yeah,
cannot wait.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
writing it down. I'm writing it down. Let me sign the contract for you to make that happen. Great. So she'll
It's
be there.
fine. It's official now, so I can talk, so I can announce it. Yes.
Right. If you don't know about the Denton Black Film Festival, it is a long time film festival, and it features, and obviously, hence the name, the Black Film Festival, and people, artists come from all over to submit their works, and as a part of this, comedy ensues as well, and so it is a great time, and I highly recommend it. So we'll be talking about that, Myra, I
Oh,
promise.
cool, cool,
Promise.
cool, cool.
And our friend Mary Boyce was the head writer for Tom Joyner,
Mhm.
and in her new life, she's taken on stand up
Yep.
and doing a really great job.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
done a really great job. Absolutely. So Kevin McCarthy,
Oh no.
former Speaker of the House, told the guys and gals of the Republican Party farewell, but that's really not the F word that he used. He announced that he is leaving the Congress as of the end of this year, not the end of his term, which is next year.
The end
He's
of this year,
leaving
you said.
this year.
Deuces. I'm out.
Deuces. Yeah, like farewell, mother,
Quit.
mother, fathers. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Curse?
I'm sorry.
You said
No,
he
he
can't.
didn't. No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. That sounds like
It was in the Wall Street Journal. It was like an op-ed thing, but the feeling was there, and he has let them know. And here's the thing, Quinn, when you say you're going to, a lot of people, I think it's a record number of people have said they are not going to run for reelection for the Congress in the upcoming election in 2024. But to say that you're leaving before your term is up, and we know what happened to him in terms of his relationship with the Republicans and how they, took so long to put him into the speakership role, and then with one vote, they, diminished his role, his stature, and kicked him out of the job. And he's like, I'm not going to deal with you anymore. I'm leaving. And so what this does, as you know, Myra, they're already losing a vote because they kicked Santos out last week, right? And now another vote will be gone. And so they had a cushion of about 4 votes. Then they were down to 3. Now they'll be down to 2 come January. And although it looks like his seat will be safe for Republicans, not so much for George Santos, because that was a congressional district that was flipped. And so the Democrats are really, putting all their ducks in a row to bring somebody, because the governor has announced the election day for.
Do you think he's just gonna some grand gesture like moonwalk his last day, moonwalk out the back, moonwalk out the door?
Would that be Santos or McCarthy? Because I think Santos would do it.
Definitely. But you know how it is on the job when you've had it, and because I have quit a job on my break. Seriously, on my break, and I'm walked outside, and literally I saw my bus coming. I didn't even think about it. I went, you know what? That's the Pasadena bus. I can either go back inside, I can get on that bus and go home.
Myra.
Yes, I did. Stayed on the bus.
Okay.
You are a single mother raising a son in California, which is no easy task.
Got on the bus.
Wow. You hated it that much.
I hated it. I did that a couple of times. My mother was so frustrated with me. Like, you have a master's degree. What is wrong with you?
Right,
like,
right.
I just didn't. I wasn't feeling it.
That's another great question. What was that job you had?
Oh yeah,
you just had it up to there and couldn't take it anymore.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I just could not.
Okay, we won't ask it on your day, Quinn. But Kevin McCarthy is done. So, and of course,
he announced it on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
He announced it.
He announced it on Twitter. I was like, "There's no formal process for this." Like, I'm confused.
No. It started with a newspaper op-ed piece, and then his people, being younger people, said, we got to put it on all of the social media.
Gotcha. I'm nervous what he's gonna do next. Can he do anything next?
You know what? He's gonna be all right.
Okay.
White men who leave those jobs are always going to be all right. He's either going to be come back and be a lobbyist,
right,
or he'll join
write a book.
Write a book. Yeah, for sure. Or join somebody's law firm. He'll be a rainmaker, can bring in lots of big money clients.
You don't think anybody will put him any presidential nominee in his No,
even Donald Trump, because they've had that kind of love-hate relationship. Even though he was very concerned about Donald Trump's health, the fact that he was not eating, and that's why he went down to Florida, according to reports.
Probably took him some burgers and fries.
Right.
A happy meal.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And so that is that. The latest allegation against Sean Diddy Combs has just come out. He was hit with a new charge from an anonymous accuser who says that she was still in high school when he and others sex trafficked her and gang raped her. The lawsuit has been filed by a woman who's identified only as Jane Doe in federal court alleges she met the Bad Boy Entertainment president Harv Pierre in 2003 in the Detroit area, where Pierre allegedly called her hot, dropped Diddy's name, invited her to jump on a private jet to go meet the music mogul. The accuser says she was a 17-year-old girl still in the 11th grade when this meeting happened. She said she accepted the invitation, ended up on the plane in New York City where she met Diddy in a studio. There was a recording session going on. She claims he invited her to sit on his lap, and then they began plying her with drugs and alcohol. She also included photos of that studio meeting in the lawsuit, and you do see someone sitting on his lap, but she blurred her face in the images. And she says everything's a blur after that. She does remember Diddy taking her into a bathroom and things happened from there. She's quite descriptive with that. And she says that she did not consent to having sex. She also claims that Pierre and another man, who she doesn't name, also forced sex with her during this night in the studio. And she claims she ended up in the fetal position in the bathroom on the floor, eventually escorted out of the studio and flown back home to Michigan. She says she suffered silently for 20 years, although she knew speaking out would be difficult, but felt confident after Cassie and several other women made their allegations against Diddy. And Diddy has responded. He says, enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently, watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. And let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth.
Well, I'm just being honest. I can't keep up. I
Right.
can. I
Right.
honestly, I cannot keep up with Diddy Do It. Okay.
Right.
That's
But a lot of people, this is like people have made this their life's work almost, Myra, to say I got to know what the latest is. What's the latest with Diddy? And and even stars. I mean, 50 Cent has been, according to reports, has been trolling him.
Well, I want to say I think I saw an interview with what's her name? Was it Jaguar Wright?
Mm,
Was on someone's show, and she wasn't making personal allegations, but she was just speaking like, look, I ain't got nothing to lose here, but I can tell you this is what I know from back in the day, and I was just like, man, if
corroborating some of those stories. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just really, I think when the allegations came out against Bill Cosby, even initially, at first, I was really heartbroken because, like, I come from, a matriarchal household, but also just a household full of survivors of women who should not be survivors of things. And I remember even then, like, people were just like, oh, like, they're tearing down the black man. Look at the time. He's trying to buy ABC. They're trying to ruin his name, whatever. And I think that's the type of lens and the type of, like, framework that people are still looking at this Diddy situation, because it's really inconceivable for a man who has twin daughters to even, like, what I'm really just, I am shocked by it, just because of the amount of influence that this man has. So I understand the type of fear that so many other people, not even just women, because we don't even know, like, people that are not stepping forward or not saying anything. And when I especially saw the detailed report, because it was a lengthy report that Cassie submitted, really, really gut wrenching. Like, it's just like the things you don't know, that when you see people on the cover of magazines and celebrities, like, you really think that, not that they're perfect, but they're kind.
Right. That's what you want to think. Yeah.
When you're in a relationship with somebody that they actually do respect and they love, and that somebody is safe. But I think what this whole thing is revealing to me, that you really can't put past anybody. And I'm just thinking about the survivors at this point, because my God, and I don't like the fact that he said that. If he's saying that everything that's alleged is true, was he also referencing to what Cassie has saying now too? That, like, or was that post really for this new set of allegations? At first, I thought
this is the latest. after this Jane Doe came forward, and he said, "Enough is enough. I've been sitting and waiting and hoping that this was the end, and it just keeps coming. But let me tell you, I am not guilty." And you know what? Our system is set up that you are innocent until proven guilty, and
True.
so we have to respect that, and even know that just as it's possible that he may have done something, and some of the stories are starting to sound similar in nature. Just as that is possible, it's also possible he did nothing, and so we have to give the presumption of innocence
I don't
in
know
front
if
of
I
the
trust the system to
Well,
take that.
that's to be. I mean, because Bill Cosby, he got caught on tax stuff. It had nothing to do with
Right. And like
what
even
he's
with R.
doing.
Kelly, did they have to find something else in order to actually get him to
Right.
even, I don't know, appear in court? So it's just like this
Right.
type of situation with these powerful moguls, like I don't know. I just don't know what behind the scene conversations like lawyers and judges are doing, that I'm just like, oh, I don't know if innocent and guilty is appropriate, or will he will he have to take accountability or not?
Hmm.
What type of accountability will that look like? Like, will it be, under the desk type of payout, or, whatever? But that poor girl, my God, 17, like,
17
my God.
and in high school.
And
Yeah.
she waited 20 years. Like, that's a lot of trauma. Like, that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. And she said suffered in silence.
Mm-hmm.
But on a happier note, let's move to entertainment, and congratulations to Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Anybody a Swiftie here?
Oh, no.
I thought it was.
Taylor Swift.
Oh no, 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 no. You know what? I must be thinking of Sports Illustrated. Is that Dion?
I don't.
Oh, yeah, it might be for sports. There are different sports categories. Yeah.
Gotcha, 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 gotcha.
Um,
Congratulations.
but this is Time Magazine, their Person of the Year. It's usually political in nature or technological related. I thought it might have been AI or something like that. But they say that she was selected, Taylor Swift, because she found a way to give people around the world hope in some seriously dark times. No one else on the planet today can move so many people so well. Achieving this feat is something we often chalk up to the alignments of planets and fates, but giving too much credit to the stars ignores her skill and her power. You got to give it to her. I mean, she is a gazillion-dollar industry. And
Mm-hmm.
what she has been able to do to bring money to local economies, the way that she has around the world. They interviewed her, and she said that this is the proudest and happiest I've ever felt, and the most creatively fulfilled and free I've ever been. Part of her record setting year was her Eras tour. That grossed $2.2 billion dollars in North American ticket sales alone. She also released, StubHub also released its 2023 Year in Live Experiences report, revealing that the Eras Tour was StubHub's biggest tour in the website's history, and she's dominated not only Super Bowl sized arenas, but also local movie theaters as well. When her Eras tour, the movie, raked in $96 billion in the box office, making it the highest grossing concert film domestically for an opening weekend. Now, with all respect to Beyonce, we did not support her movie's opening weekend the way Taylor Swift fans did. And so, I think it's about a quarter of what Taylor Swift made that
Mm-hmm.
first weekend as what Beyonce made. So let's get to the movies and support Beyonce. And she really supports Beyonce too.
Mm-hmm.
She said she wouldn't be where she is without a woman like Beyonce setting the trend and the stage for others to follow in her footsteps. And
I
so I think
I am not a Swiftie, and I have nothing against her. I just don't really listen to her music, but I have much respect for her. And what I am kind of looking out for, I think she kind of mentioned like young people and getting out and voting.
she has changed that
Yes,
too. Yep.
and I'm like, okay, in 2024, if
Yep.
she can get these young people to get up and go out and vote,
Yeah,
Met.
she has done that. They've shown
Yep.
the
Met.
numbers in her state of Tennessee, where that has made a tremendous difference in the numbers of young people who have gone out and have registered to vote. And they said that is going to count in a big way in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
They're really counting on that. So, ladies, I really enjoyed the conversation today. We're going to close out with our jewel for the day, and respect is the theme of the week. Respect is more valuable than attention. So, inhale respect, exhale the need for approval. Woo,
Okay.
woo.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful right there, and a lungful, if I do say so myself. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and thanks for joining us. Myra, we'll see you at the Perfect Note tonight, and
Yes.
Kwyn, we'll see you in a classroom near you.
Dinner, take pictures.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Okay.
Bye.